Israel, Israel. Who am I?
An Israelite.
Who am I?
An Israelite.
The book of Psalms, chapter 122, verse 1. I was glad when they said unto me, let us go into the house of the Lord.
Shabbat Shalom, Israel. First, giving all praises to the Most High and His Son Yahushua. Bless. COL, we come to you with another Sabbath class today. Just want to make sure everybody in good spirit, make sure you willing and ready to receive the words of the Most High God. As you can see here, today's class, 4 types of Israelites. We're going to deal with the parable of the sower. It's one of the famous parables that the Son of the Most High addressed and taught to the Israelites about. And we want to get some understanding. This class here, I pray that you get some understanding through the Spirit. 4 types of Israelites. Knowing your status with the Most High Yah. Y'all can put that on the side. Knowing your status with the Most High Yah. That's what we're going to cover today. Let's go ahead and open up with Romans 15 and 4. Hope everybody in good spirit. It's a blessing to be a part of the awakening. It's a blessing to see another day to pretty much what we like to say here. So pretty much right all the wrongs, get closer to the Most High.
That's right.
Go ahead and read that up.
The book of Romans, chapter 15 and verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope.
Might have what?
Might have hope. So
understanding, knowing who we are and knowing that the Bible was written by our forefathers, was inspired by the Most High, and was given to His chosen seed. We have to understand this is our hope. This is our whole foundation of understanding and walking that righteous path in the sight of the Most High. Dealing with this topic today, I want to cover a couple things to bring to light through the Spirit. Give me 2 Timothy chapter 2, and we're going to start at verse 14. Because I know in the world, I'm going to say Christianity, we read this a lot. And did we have good understanding of this? No, we didn't. Because we didn't know who we are. We didn't know how to relate to the Bible because we couldn't see ourselves in the Bible. But go ahead and read that right quick, guys.
The book of 2 Timothy, chapter 2, verse 14. Of these things put them in remembrance.
What? What things?
Of these things put them in remembrance.
The oracle that was only given to us, read.
Charging them before the Lord that they strive not about words to no profit.
So understand, charging them, bring them to mind, give them the understanding, let them know this is nothing to be taken lightly. Read.
But to the subverting of the hearers.
To the what?
Subverting of the hearers. Study to shew thyself approved.
Do what?
Study to shew thyself approved.
Okay.
Unto God.
Unto who?
Unto God.
This is what we have to realize. The study to show ourselves approved. We're not doing this for men. You're not coming to the Shabbat for old cap. You're not coming for leadership. You're not coming for your best friend. You shouldn't be at all. You're doing this to show yourself what? Read that again.
Study to shew thyself approved unto God.
Unto who?
Unto God.
Read on.
A workman that needed not to be ashamed.
And when it comes to learning and understanding, you cannot be ashamed of the biblical truth of the Bible. Read on.
Rightly dividing the word of truth.
Now, dealing with rightly dividing the word of truth. Do anybody have a precept? Talking to a soldier. Anybody have a precept to expound with that? When they say rightly dividing the word of truth. How do we do that? Christianity teaches us how to do it. I'm going to help you out. Let's go into Isaiah chapter 28 and verse 9. Rightly dividing the word of truth. And when you get another precept to it is Nehemiah 8 and 8. When he said they read in the book of the law distinctly. Let's go ahead and get that in Isaiah right quick.
The book of the prophet Isaiah, chapter 28 and verse 9. Whom shall he teach knowledge?
Okay.
And whom shall he make to understand doctrine?
Whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Read.
Them that are weaned from the milk.
Okay.
And drawn from the breast.
Okay.
For precept must be upon precept.
So understand, precept must be upon precept. Read.
Precept upon precept. Line upon line.
Line upon line.
Line upon line.
Okay.
Here a little.
Hold up now. So understand now, we have this understanding. The Most High God has revealed His secret to His servant. He say line upon line, here a little, read.
And there a little.
So understand, That's why when you read in Psalms, he said, "Lo, I come in the volume of the book." We realize now to get good understanding this Bible, we must go precept upon precept, line upon line. Here a little in the old, there a little in the new. This whole book was written for our learning. That's right. What we have to realize. So in the clarity of that understanding, let's go into the book of Sower, chapter 1. We're going to start at verse 11. Because when you think about here a little, there a little, as we wake up and continue to walk in the Spirit, we must add something that was taken away from us. When you think about this captivity, when you wake up and realize this is our last captivity, this is what you have to really examine. Who have we been taught to fear? Christianity has not taught you to fear the Most High. Christianity taught you to come as you are.
That's right.
Do whatever you want to do, and it's going to be all right. Pray over that port. Be a whoremonger. Just as long as you pay your tithes and sow a seed. That's what it's about. Christianity teach me nothing but how to hide seed. I'll be honest with you. Christianity taught me how to hide seed. When I did wicked stuff, I made sure I did it away from the church. But around the corner, I was at the strip club. You know, these are things that we learned in this captivity. So, knowing this, we have to realize as we build a nation, we have to put the fear of God back in our nation.
That's right.
So let's go ahead and get something on fear right quick. Start at chapter 1 in Sower and start at verse 11. Huh?
The book of Sower, chapter 1 and verse 11. The fear of the Lord is honor and glory and gladness and a crown of rejoicing.
So this is the thing is, I remember in Christianity, all they talk about, you know, Most High, he don't want you to fear him. He wants you to love and this and that. But the element of love, you got to fear. You have to fear, put an element of discipline in your heart, which is your mind. So the Most High required us to fear him. Christianity taught you don't fear him, love him. He's your friend. Well, Jesus is the homie. They made all these friendly quotes, not going into the understanding when you read Proverbs 11:1. The Most High say an unjust balance is abomination.
That's right.
So when you say, read that again.
The fear of the Lord is honor.
So the fear of the Lord is honor, read.
And glory and gladness and a crown of rejoicing. The fear of the Lord maketh a merry heart.
So the fear of the Lord maketh a happy heart, a happy mind, read.
And give it joy.
And give you joy, read.
And gladness and a long life.
And a what?
And a long life.
Come on now, read on.
Whoso feareth the Lord, it shall go well with him.
So in the process of fearing the Most High, y'all, this is what he's saying. When you fear him, it's going to go well with you. Read.
At the last.
At the what?
At the last.
Uh-huh.
And he shall find favor.
And he shall what?
Find favor.
This is what Israel have to realize. Fearing the Most High God, we know to fear him is to keep his commandments. In the process of fearing him, that leads to obedience. And it's going to go well with you. Finish it up.
In the day of his death.
In the day of his death. Pretty much in the day of judgment. All people so caught up in this world now, they don't think of nothing but just now. They live for now, and they dying right now. This is what we have to realize. Let's stay in Sower a little bit. I want to get a little more on this. Jump over to verse 25.
Verse 25. The parables of knowledge.
The parables of what?
Of knowledge are in the treasures of wisdom. But godliness is an abomination to a sinner.
So understand, godliness is going to be an abomination to a sinner. Israel, we dealing with sinners in our nation. We dealing with sinners all over this world. We have to understand it's going to be an uphill battle. It's more sinners than righteous. Righteous people in this world. This is what you have to examine. This is what you have to know. Read on.
If thou desire wisdom, keep the commandment.
Do what?
Keep the commandment.
Come on now.
And the Lord shall give her unto thee. For the fear of the Lord is the wisdom of instruction.
Of instruction. That's what we just talked about. When you fear him, you're going to follow his ways. You're going to walk in righteousness. Read on.
And faith and meekness.
Ooh, read that part again.
And faith and meekness are his delight.
Understand, you have to be humble. When you read that in Matthew chapter 18, he said you got to be humble as a little child. A lot of us, we puffed up. We puffed up, but we still slaves over here. We puffed up, but we don't have nothing going over here.
That's right.
How a nation build everything but have nothing. This is where you have to humble your spirit and analyze what's going on. Finish it up.
Distrust not the fear of the Lord.
Okay.
When thou art poor, and come not unto him with a double heart.
With a what?
With a double heart.
We got to be solid in this walk, Israel. Read on.
Be not an hypocrite.
Be not a what?
An hypocrite in the sight of men. And take good heed what thou speakest.
Okay.
Exalt not thyself.
Hold on, what does the Bible say?
Exalt not thyself, lest thou fall.
This is what's going on. A lot of time, and we're going to get into it this class, but like I said, knowing your status with the Most High God. See, some of y'all, we get caught up. We want to know the status with the camp. We want to know the status at your job. We want to know the status of everything, but when it comes to the Most High, well, you know, y'all know my heart. You know how it is, you know. Come on now, we got to get out there. That's pretty much a slave mentality.
That's right.
That's what we've been taught and brought down to a low state today. Read on.
And bring dishonor upon thy soul.
Okay.
And so God discovered thy secrets.
He do what?
Discovered thy secrets.
Read on.
And cast thee down into the midst of the congregation. Because thou camest not in truth to fear the Lord to fear of the Lord. But thy heart is full of deceit.
Full of what?
Of deceit.
This is what we have to realize. If you're not analyzing yourself, then we're going to talk about these 4 types of Israelites, because you one of them. See, somebody right now probably say, "No, I ain't now one of them." We always try to duck the bullet, but we can't duck the hands of the Most High. So that being said, let's move forward and give me Matthew chapter 10, and we're going to start at verse 28. Because when you think about it, Israel, we fear everything but the Most High. I know somebody right now stressed out about their credit score. Oh, I know I paid the bill on time. I don't know why they charged me that late fee. Ooh, I'm trying to keep my, 2% interest rate. And a work second job to try to pay that bill off.
That's right.
I'm going to tell you, Babylon is almost done. Our goal as the prophet is to get your soul. I ain't trying to fix your credit.
Bring it out.
You know what I'm saying? My goal is to lead you to the kingdom through the Spirit.
That's right.
That's what we out here for. Read that right quick, y'all.
The book of St. Matthew, chapter 10, verse 28. And fear not them which kill the body.
Hold on, read that part again. Huh?
And fear not them which could kill the body.
Okay.
But are not able to kill the soul.
So when you think about this, as we continue to feed our spirit, because that's what we're doing today, feeding the spirit. What Paul say, I die daily. We have to die daily of this flesh. Things about it, we understand we have to do things to survive in this captivity. But at the end of the day, you should not let nothing corrupt your soul or take your mind off the pretty much what they say. You got to keep your eye on the prize. What is the prize for the Israelites? The kingdom. Read on.
But rather fear him, which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell.
In what?
In hell.
This is what we have to realize. You not want to know your status. You're not worried about the afterlife. You're not pretty much your oppressor, I'm going to say, because that's what we learned a lot from. Your oppressor taught you to focus on now. And see, the thing about it, he wants you to focus on now, because he knows when we wake up, his kingdom is over with.
That's right.
So that being said, let's get some more understanding of this. Why Israel do not fear the Most High God? Give me Jeremiah 5 and verse 20. Because we fear everything but the Most High. Everything. Apparently, we don't fear counsel. We don't really fear counsel. You tell people, hey man, you keep smoking this cigarette, man, you gonna get cancer. Oh well, you gotta die for something. God, no. We have got to the point now we don't even fear dying. We're a lost soul, man. Well, go ahead and read that.
The book of the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 5, verse 20. Declare this in the house of Jacob.
Okay.
And publish it.
And do what?
And publish it.
Read on.
In Judah, saying, hear now this, O foolish people.
Oh, foolish what?
O foolish people.
Read on.
And without understanding.
This is what we have to realize. Without understanding. I'm going to tell you, we have more quotes that have destroyed our soul than anything. Get it how you live. Well, we living in hell.
That's right.
And we going to continue to catch hell. And guess what? You're going to make it to that what? The true hell, that lake of fire. We keep operating like this. Read on.
Which have eyes and see not.
What our people do?
Which have eyes and see not.
Okay.
Which have ears and hear not.
This is what's going on. They see the destruction. Big Mama know her grandmama legs got cut off because she ate hog maws and chitlins all her life. But guess what? They have eyes, but they have no understanding of what they see. The same tobacco that gave Grandpa throat cancer, you got the same brand and got his same favorite pouch.
That's right.
Come on now. And it with the ears, what say about the ears?
Which have ears and hear not.
You've been warned. You've been warned over and over again. but you still gonna get it how you live.
Right.
Read on.
Fear ye not me?
Notice is a question. Well, I want y'all to pay attention. We're gonna go slow today. I don't have nothing to do. Okay, y'all know. We're gonna take our time today. My eyes not that good anyway. Read that part again.
Fear ye not me?
Fear ye not me. Notice the question mark. This is the question you gotta ask yourself. When you operate out the spirit, you gotta ask yourself, do you not fear the Most High? Because you lied to the bruise and said you weren't going to make it because you had to work. And you at the crib playing your PlayStation.
Bring it out.
What does the Bible say?
Fear ye not me,
Come on, man.
said the Lord.
Read on.
Will you not tremble at my presence,
Uh-huh.
which have placed the sand for the bound of the sea,
Okay.
by a perpetual decree, that it cannot pass it? And though the waves thereof toss themselves,
Uh-huh.
yet can they not prevail? Though they roar, yet can they not pass over it?
This is what's going on. The Most High God is addressing all the power I have. All the water that's on this earth, he said, notice, it don't never go past the level I want it to go. No matter how hard the wind blows, the Most High said, I'm in control of all that.
That's right.
But he said, at the same time, Israel choose not to fear me. I got to take you back now. Let's go into Exodus chapter 20, verse 18. Because I'm just be honest with you, Israel. The prophets are back. We out here trying to do the work of the Most High. Shout out to all the brothers that's out there dwelling in righteousness and trying to edify the people to the biblical truth. So that being said, where is this message gonna come from? You think your old person gonna teach you to be obedient to the Most High? Do you think? Well, I just need to know. And then I heard people tell me before, I was, hey man, if God want me this and that and the other, he gonna have to tell me himself. We're going to go back. I'm going to show you. If the Most High ever speak to you, it's a done deal. It's a wrap. It's over. Yep. He talks to me all the time. That's a lie. And I say, well, he talks to you all the time. So if he talking to you now, through me.
Bring it out.
No, I don't think so. He talked to me personally. Let's go back and see what our forefathers dealt with. Because there was one point where they kind of wanted the Most High to deal with them instead of Moses. Go ahead and read that, huh?
The book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 18. And all the people saw the thunderings, and the lightning,
Okay.
and the noise of the trumpet, and the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they removed.
They did what?
They removed.
Come on now.
And stood afar off.
They stood afar off. Read on.
And they said unto Moses.
Hold up. The same person they didn't want to deal with, what they do?
And they said unto Moses.
They called back Moses. Let's see what they said to Moses.
Speak thou with us.
Hold on. What did they say?
Speak thou with us.
Read on.
And we will hear.
Okay.
But let not God speak with us.
They said, but let not the Most High speak with us. Read.
Lest we die.
Lest we what?
Lest we die.
Come on now. Read on.
And Moses said unto the people, fear not,
Uh-huh.
for God is not come to prove you.
Hold on. I want y'all to pay attention to this. Read that again.
And Moses said unto the people, fear not.
So he said, fear not. And listen to what Moses said after this. Read.
For God is come to prove you.
I'm going to tell you right now. Some of y'all in the frying pan right now.
That's right.
And don't know how to get out of it. You're being proven right now. But guess what? The blueprint is here. The blueprint is in this word. Because the thing about it, the righteous going to suffer just like the wicked. But the righteous going to cling to what they know going to lead to salvation. Right. So he said, don't fear the Most High. He's come to prove you. Let's see, read on.
And that his fear may be before your faces.
Hold up. So he said, in the process of trying to prove you, he's going to put you in a position where the fear of him is going to be before your face. Find out why. Read on.
That ye sin not.
That ye sin not. I'm going to tell you. And I just share this with everybody on the topic for me. But my first element of fear of the Most High was my dad. My dad was like James Evans in the house. You know what I'm saying? And I never forget my father told me. He said, now I'm going to tell you something, boy. He always called me boy. He said, boy, I'm going to tell you something. He said, you scared of me, ain't you? He just got to whooping me. I was kind of like I'm going to say, no, I'm shook. I'm crying. He said, now, the Most High, now he didn't know about the truth, but he knew, he said, the Most High 10 times, 20 times worse than me. And that impression right there had me shook. Because I said, this man grabbed me by my ankles and turned me upside down and whooped me. Now, you picture me with a fro and some pork chop sideburns, man. That was my day. So, the element that goes to spur not the ride, so y'all make sure y'all discipline y'all children. But that being said, that's the first foundation of fear. That's why the parents got to be guiding their children in the spirit of righteousness.
That's right.
So they have that understanding. Now, that being said, we just dealt with this. Let's go back into Romans now. Let's go to Romans chapter 16. Chapter 1 and verse 16. Dealing with the fear of the Most High. They were shook. They knew the Most High dealt with them. Just his voice make their heart blow up in their chest. They told him, no, we're going to deal with you, Moses. We good now. We all right. We were tripping at first. Some of us still tripping today. The prophets are speaking to you. But guess what? When you look at us, all presidents told us we don't see Christ in our brothers and sisters. We don't see the spirit of the Most High. Right. We don't see Sarah when we look at some of the elder sisters. We don't see Ruth. We don't see Naomi. We see Quaitoniel in every aspect. This is what we got to renew our mind. That's right. Because the words of the Most High going to come through us. And we got to continue to walk in it. Read that right quick.
The book of Romans, chapter 1, verse 16. For I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ.
This is what we have to realize. Read.
For it is the power of God unto salvation.
So the power, the fear of the Most High, what's going to lead us to salvation. There's no way you can serve the Most High God and don't fear him. You can try. Because what happened is, the fear is, I'm just saying this, the fear is the glue that sticks to your salvation. Fearing him is what's going to keep you on the right path. Right now, some of y'all broke right now, right? You ain't going to go rob a bank because guess what? You know you get caught, you don't go. You don't go to jail. The fear of going to jail is keeping you from going to get that money.
That's right.
I'm trying to show you Israel, we learn to fear everything but the Most High in this captivity. So read on.
To everyone that believeth.
Okay.
To the Jew first.
Okay.
And also to the Greek.
I got to cover this because somebody watching this, they tripping them. Now, understand Paul was speaking to his brother. Go into the Son of Man Compact Bible Dictionary. Realize when Paul was speaking, he was speaking to the northern kingdom. At that time, the Jews weren't dealing with the northern kingdom, so they were considered to be Gentiles. Why they were considered to be Gentiles, write this in your notes. Sisters, I pray you let us know if y'all need these books. I want everybody to be edified. Make sure you got the Son of Man Compact Bible Dictionary because it's very important for your study. So, to understand this precept, you got to know what Hellenist means. Go ahead and read that for me right quick.
Out of the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, page 223. Hellenists, Jews who made Greek their tongue.
So understand, Hellenists are just Jews that made Greek their tongue. So when Paul was writing, when he said to the Jews first and the Greeks, they're just like saying to the Israelites first and to the African Americans. Because guess what? The African Americans don't know they the real Jews. So when he's speaking in the format to edify the people. Finish it out.
And with it often adopted.
What did our people did?
Adopted Greek ideas and practices.
So this was going on. So when Paul was speaking that, he was speaking to the northern kingdom. The Israelites that was in a pretty much Gentile state of mind. So let's go ahead. Yeah, go back to Romans, let's go back to let's go to 17 then.
The book of Romans, chapter 1, verse 17. For therein is the righteousness of God revealed from faith to faith, as it is written.
Now, from the righteousness of God is revealed from faith to faith. We have to realize, understanding what faith is. Give me that Hebrews 11:1 right quick. From faith to faith. Because I'm going to tell you like this. I never get this sister. You know what, the sister, I think she's the truth now. Years ago, man, Kim, we going through the scripture with a sister, man, and the sister, it was too much for her. And she didn't have no comeback because we could cut all the Christianity doctrine up. And the last thing she said, I ain't gonna lie, I just had this laugh and smile. She said, brother, I got one question. I said, sister, what is? I'm ready for I to go to the precept. She said, what you done? I said, sis. I said, sis, we love you, sis. We love you. And it might not be your time, but we here for you. But her only response, because we were giving her precept upon precept, and her spirit was bearing witness. But only element, she went corner. She said, well, what you done? I said, well, sis. I said, well, this over a grade, a spiritual level. But I said, yeah, I was. You was too. You just don't know. But, you know, I ain't go too deep with it. But I just said, sis, regardless of our spirit bear witness with what is written.
That's right.
Now, dealing with faith, go ahead and give that to Hebrews right quick.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 11 and verse 1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for.
Okay.
The evidence of things not seen.
Hold up. The what?
The evidence of things not seen.
Because when you think about it, did any one of us seen a slave ship? But guess what? When I close my eyes, I feel it in my bones. When I think about, first of all, transportation back then, how they got us over here, do I remember these things? No. Saul said we won't remember these things.
Right.
But at the same time, when I look at my body, I guess what? Me and you was some thoroughbred. They didn't have us in the house. I'm kidding, you probably in the house, but these are things that the spirit of what is written bear witness with our spirit. No other nation can relate to these things.
That's right.
So let's just go back. So we realize that. I'm gonna show you something right quick. In the process of faith, read that again one more time for me.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 11 and verse 1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for.
Okay.
The evidence of things not seen.
The evidence of things not seen. Knowing now that what was written by our forefathers, it should touch your spirit even more. Knowing that with Paul's writing this, Paul looked just like us. When Zechariah was writing this, they look just like us. Their blood comes from pretty much the same blood we have. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
That's right.
Let's stay in Hebrews right quick. Give me 10. Hebrews chapter 10 and verse 35. I'm not trying to go too fast, y'all. But Hebrews 10 and 35. Read that right quick.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 10, verse 35. Cast not away, therefore, your confidence.
Hold up. In the process of faith, we just read, is pretty much the substance of things not seen. We know one thing about the scripture now, precept upon precept. One thing about the Most High, he can do all things but one thing. He can't lie. So what is written in this Bible, we got to hold fast to this, because when he say, I'll never leave you or forsake you. See, it's because your credit score went bad, don't mean the Most High left you.
Bring it out.
Brother, because that $80,000 or $90,000 job you have left you, don't mean the Most High left you.
That's right.
He probably pulled it to get your attention.
That's right.
These are things we have to realize. See, anytime something happens bad, it's the devil. No. The devil might have been the person that gave you that job.
That's right.
Now you got money to do everything you want to do. You to multiply your seed. Well, read on.
Which had great recompense of reward.
So he said, don't give up this confidence in this word. No matter what the oppression do to you, no matter what your enemy tell you, don't give up confidence. Don't lose focus in me. Read on.
For ye have need of patience.
Hold on, whoa, read that again.
For ye have need of patience, that after ye have done the will of God.
So in the process of patience leads to long suffering. See, in Christianity, they don't teach you about long suffering because they're going to mess up the tithe money. I ain't going to tell nobody that it's going to be, when you come serve the Lord, you're going to suffer. Because they're going to leave the church. And, Pastor Pochak can't get his rent paid then. So, but when patience is there, long suffering got to be there.
That's right.
It goes into endurance. Read on.
Ye might receive the promise for yet a little while.
For yet a little while, guess what? That little while represent our captivity right now. Read.
And he that shall come will come and will not tarry.
And we know when the Most High sent his son, he's coming to get us. Read on.
Now the just shall live by faith.
By what?
By faith.
Read.
But if any man draw back, my soul shall have no pleasure in him.
How do we draw back today? When he said, you deny me, I'm going to deny you in front of the Father.
That's right.
We draw back every time we refuse to examine ourselves. We draw back every time we refuse to be obedient and follow the commandments of the Most High God. Read on.
But we are not of them which draw back unto perdition.
Come on, which is sin. Read.
But of them that believe to the saving of the soul.
To them that believe of the saving of the soul. Staying intact with the Most High. I'm going to tell you right now. Some people do it once a week. Some people do it once a month. But I'm going to tell you, right now, we deep in Jacob's trouble. We need to be examining ourselves day in and day out. Sometimes people do it once a day. I'm actually working on 3 times a day now. I got to, at 12 o'clock, I got to recap and make sure I ain't seeing it from 8 to 12. It's that simple in this wicked kingdom. We got to keep our mind focused on the Most High. So that being said, let's move forward now. Give me that in Sirach. Let's go to Sirach chapter 37. We're going to start at verse 6. Being confident in what is written. Walking in the Spirit. Go ahead. Sirach 37 and verse 6. Because I'm going to tell you, when you think about what's going on now, go ahead and read that for me.
The book of Sirach, chapter 37 and verse 6. Forget not thy friend in thy mind.
This is what I want you to realize. As we continue to build, you cannot forget the foundation of walking in the Spirit in every aspect. Sometimes the rudiments of this world change the way. It's like this. Your status in this society change your spirit. That shouldn't be possible. When look, sometimes the most humble people are the ones that don't have nothing. But once they get on their feet, what happens? They change. Read that again out.
Forget not thy friend in thy mind.
Okay.
And be not unmindful of him in thy riches.
Through this process of this walk, we have to make sure we stay in the right spirit every aspect of the way. Read on.
Every counselor.
Every what?
Every counselor.
Read.
Extolleth counsel.
Okay.
But there is some that counsel it for himself.
When you think about, read that part again.
But there is some that counsel it for himself.
Christianity.
But there is some that counsel it for himself.
Islam.
Counsel it for himself.
All these religions that we've been taught, it don't benefit us at all. It actually, every religion that we've been taught in this captivity has prolonged our captivity. You got to think about it. God loved everybody. Drafting other nations in. Did our forefather write this? No, man. This is what the enemy has taught us. They counsel for themselves.
Right.
It benefits them. We all got children. When you're not, that benefits them. Yeah, I like that. That's a good ring. Read on.
Beware of a counselor, and know before what he had.
I'm going to tell you right now, you still, knowing that Esau is the white man the Bible speaks of, knowing that Christianity is nowhere in the Bible, but you still follow Christianity, shame on you. Read on.
For he will counsel for himself.
He would do what?
Counsel for himself.
Read on.
Lest he cast the lot upon thee.
Uh-huh.
And say unto thee, thy way is good.
Guess what? We've been taught Sunday worship is good. We've been taught breaking defiling the temple with unclean food is good. And guess what? What's going on? Read on.
And afterward he stand on the other side to see what shall befall thee.
Come on now. This is every religion that we've been taught. That's what's going on. So now getting into the 4 types of Israelites now. And that being said, going to 2 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 5. Because this is what you have to think about now. We've been taught a lot of folly over here. It's like, I like using little scenarios, man, but it's like having that old screwdriver in your hand and you keep screwing that screw the wrong way. At some point, you got to say, it's not sticking. Adjustments got to be made. First adjustment that needs to be made, it got to start with you.
That's right.
Go ahead and read that out.
The book of 2 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 5. Examine yourselves.
Do what?
Examine yourselves.
Okay.
Whether you be in the faith.
Whether you be in the faith, read.
Prove your own selves.
Do what?
Prove your own selves.
See, the thing
That's
is,
right.
we always say this. A lot of times people looking out the window. They need to look in the mirror. Sometimes fixing you don't fix the problem. Sometimes a person gonna tell you straight up, man, I was just asking how you act. And you cut me, I'm cutting you act. I thought that's how we talking here. And you been going home every day, man. I don't know why brother such and such be talking so hard to me, man. Guess what? Read that apart again.
Examine yourselves.
Okay.
Whether you be in the faith.
Okay.
Prove your own self.
Well, guess what? If someone looking up to you, they think you in the faith, and they watching you doing your thing, they gonna think that's the way to go. That's what I'm supposed to be doing.
That's right.
That's why we got to examine ourselves. The first element of teaching y'all, I gotta teach myself. I gotta walk in the light to be a light. Read on.
Know ye not your own selves?
Do you know your own self, Israel? We're gonna get to the 4 types in a minute, but this is what you gotta ask. Do you know your own self? Some of y'all wouldn't even hang around with yourself if you could. And you could make a copy of yourself, you wouldn't even want it. You'll be dodging yourself. I ain't even gonna go over that day. She gonna ask me for some money, or she gonna need something. She too needy. Guess what? That's you. Finish that out.
How that Jesus Christ is in you, except ye be reprobate.
This is what we're praying on. Another word for reprobate, I call it stuck on stupid. Stuck on stupid. I know a guy went to jail 4 times for the same crime in the same spot. I told her, I said, man, you gonna put something on this bed? I'm like, no, not at all. Apparently, he ain't getting it together. He need to go back until he get it right.
That's right.
So that being said, let's go ahead and give me this right quick. Give me Proverbs chapter 24, verse 12. I ain't talking about nobody. I'm just speaking about what I know. Now, dealing with this here, now, knowing your status with the Most High God. Right now, and I tell people all the time, I don't care how righteous you think you are. If someone say, hey, if judgment can come right now, will you be ready? And you gonna be, I'm talking about walking in the spirit. And guess what? You still gonna like right now, like before 5, no, you're not gonna do it. Because we understand the scripture. You say the righteous don't scarcely make it.
That's right.
But if you disagree with that, you are already puffed up and you deny it. But I'm gonna show you. Read that right quick, God.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 24, verse 12. If thou sayest, behold, we knew it not.
Because this is what you have to think about. Right now, and I share this with you. I'm gonna make an example right quick. With this walk, with this truth. A lot of people deny it. It's almost like they feel like, well, maybe if I just don't really think about it, they talk to me, I believe them, and don't really, they feel like they're going to dodge judgment. Read that again up.
If thou sayest, behold, we knew it not.
Because somebody right now still don't think there is right. Somebody right now still think the commandments are done away with. But let's see what's going on.
Do it not he that pondereth the heart consider it? And he that keepeth thy soul, do it not he know it?
Do it not he what?
Do it not he know it?
So even if you think about it, you can play semantics with men, but you can't play semantics with the Most High.
That's right.
Oh, well, man, I ain't really, I mean, I heard about the Israelites, but I ain't really, never really heard, I don't really know about that. The Most High knows, he know your semantic game. He knows the craftiness that you are.
That's right.
That you use it. Read on.
And shall he not render to every man according to his works?
Regardless, he gonna render to you according to your works. The Bible says every knee shall bow, every mouth shall confess, right? To confess, you gotta know something, right?
That's right.
You can act like you don't know. But I'm gonna show you something. Give me Psalm 44, verse 20. Playing semantics with the Most High. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm an average guy. I'm gonna say average. When I say average, this is what Esau the label me over here, because I was there on the honor roll. You made A. You make 1A, probably Jim. Okay, all right, we on the same page. So we might mispronounce some words, but y'all just keep bearing with us. But seriously though, being on that level of understanding of trying to make sure that we I'm gonna just make an example for you. When you putting your best foot forward, and when you trying to walk and guide your life in the commandments of the Most High God, you have no problem examining yourself. Because guess what? You're seeking that perfection. And I'm bringing up the grading system because Esau taught us over here. I'm going to be honest with you. I ain't going to lie. When I started liking girls, then my grades went down. When I was in elementary, I had good grades. I can be honest. I was pretty sharp and I can't. My wife went to elementary school, but I can't say. Okay. Well, from the first grade to like 4th grade, I was pretty sharp. And I remember I had no problem showing my report card because guess what? I invested in the work. I knew what I put in. I'm trying to bring something to light right now. Knowing your status with the Most High, most of the ones that don't want to know the status they have with the Father, they already know they ain't seen. I'm trying to show something. I'm trying to talk in a way
Bring it out.
that you understand.
Bring it out.
Give it in the Psalm 44 and verse 20. I ain't trying to see one thing about old Cam. I ain't trying to be deep up here. Deep ain't gonna get you to the kingdom.
Right.
If I'm over y'all head, I ain't do you a just service. Y'all gonna say, man, you look good, but I ain't know what the hell you talking about up there. I'm about to go watch another class. I don't know what he was talking about. Read that right
The
quick.
book of Psalms, chapter 44, verse 20. If we have forgotten the name of our God, or stretched out our hands to a strange God.
To a what?
A strange God.
So understand that we have forgot the Most High, stretching our hands out to a strange God. Some of y'all You know, and I say other religions, but guess what? Some of y'all are God in your own mind anyway. We was supposed to be gods upon this earth, but we fell into sin.
That's right.
But my thing is, some of us still, you know, you got the brother out there, they're a king and everything. King don't pay taxes. King don't work for other people.
That's right.
Read on.
Shall not God search this out?
He shall not what?
Search this out?
Read on.
For he knoweth the secrets of the heart.
This is what I want you to realize. Regardless of how you try to play some magic, the Most High know the secrets of the heart.
That's right.
Read on.
Yea, for thy sake are we killed all the day long.
For thy sake, this day we crying out because we won't examine ourselves. This is what's going on. Read.
We are counted as sheep for the slaughter.
For the what?
Sheep for the slaughter.
This is what's going on. At some point, you gotta, like my grandma said, at some point you gotta jump off the boat. Hey, I mean, if you see the boat sinking, I mean, you can stay there all you want to, but at some point, you gotta say, whoa, this is not the way. I'm gonna show you something. Let's get to the point now. Let's go into the book of Mark, chapter 4, and we're gonna start at verse 4. Dealing with the 4 types of Israelites. Now, I want you don't gotta talk to your neighbor. We ain't that type of congregation, but I want you to just mark some notes in your Bible and find out today where you stand. Because you one of them. And if you're not the right one, you can make adjustments. It's not over for you. But read that right quick, y'all.
The book of St. Mark, chapter 4, verse 1. And he began again to teach by the seaside. And there was gathered unto him a great multitude.
Okay.
So that he entered into a ship and sat in the sea, and the whole multitude was by the sea on the land.
So understand, this is Christ right now, speaking to the great multitude, speaking to the Israelites at this time. Read on.
And he taught them many things by parable.
By what?
By parable.
So understand, when Christ spoke, he spoke and taught them by parable. Read.
And said unto them in his doctrine.
So this is what I want you to understand. Why do you think Christ spoke in parables, huh? Any soldier right now? Why did he speak in parable? Go ahead.
Because the kingdom of the understanding of the truth wasn't given to everybody.
Come on. That's a good example. I'm going to give you the definition. But yeah, it wasn't given to everybody, correct? Read parable right quick for me.
Parable. A simple story used to illustrate a moral or spiritual lesson as told by Christ in the Gospels.
So notice it say a parable, a simple story used to illustrate a moral or spiritual lesson. Christ loves his people, man. He had all the knowledge. He wasn't trying to go deep. He spoke in a parable. He wanted them to understand it. Like, for example, I know from our past life, we played sports. So guess what? If he was new and didn't know the truth, I would explain it to him in a sport parable. But guess what? He can relate to that. He gonna remember that more than he gonna remember the 7 seals and all this and that. So this is what's going on. A simple story used to illustrate. That's why when you think about it, and I talk to the production team, as we continue to build, I want to start doing videos, but at the same time, I try to pull away from them because guess what? Won't be no videos in the wilderness. I won't be no. I mean, Christ didn't have no projector screen. So when you think about it, this goes back to the foundation of things. I try to do things that a good teacher can paint that picture for me.
That's right.
So that being said, and you got to think about all the prophets. They was good storytellers. They had to paint that picture. Now I'm going to show you. Let's go ahead to verse 3.
Verse 3. Hearken, behold, there went out a sower to sow.
Okay.
And it came to pass.
So this is going into the parable of the sower. So we're going to build on this. Read on.
As he sowed, some fell by the wayside.
Okay.
And the fowls of the air came and devoured it up. And some fell on stony ground.
Now I'm going to show you, dealing with this here, to give you understanding what's going on right now. Because like I just said, the key to the kingdom, the understanding of the mystery wasn't given to everybody. What's going on right now? So to give me Hebrews, give me Hosea 12 and 10 right quick. That's what I want. I'm going to show you something. Because I brought up a good concept. The key wasn't given to everybody. The understanding of this Bible was not given to everybody. But at the same time, dealing with what we just read about parable, using a simple story to illustrate, to break down, to give basic understanding of very important things. I'm going to show you. Read that.
The book of Hosea, chapter 12, verse 10. I have also,
Go ahead, you good?
I have also spoken by the prophets, and I have multiplied visions.
So understand, he also spoke by the prophet, because guess what? The same thing Christ is doing on the scene, the prophet was doing before he came.
That's right.
He multiplied vision. How he multiplied vision? He wasn't being deep. He was giving them understanding through the parable. Read on.
And use similitudes
And use similitudes, read.
by the ministry of the prophets.
This is what's going on. I'll read the definition of similitude for me right quick.
Similitude, the quality or state of being similar to something.
So now, this is what's going on. Now jump back over here to verse 4 again. Because this is a similitude. We're going to precept it out. This is the first type of Israelite. Read verse 4.
The book of St. Mark, chapter 4, verse 4. And it came to pass, as he had sowed, some fell by the wayside.
Some fell. Sow is pretty much, when you think about sow, that is planting a seed. A sower pretty much is, you know, you look at it on the agriculture level, it's a form. It's an individual that plants seed. The seed that's being planted right now is the words of the Most High God. Read on.
And the fowls of the air came and devoured it up.
So understand, this is a similitude. The fowls of the air is not just talking about a bird. This is a similitude. This goes into Satan. And this precept this again about the sower. Knowing that it's the prophet, give me Hebrews 1:1 right quick. Hold your peace, hold where you at, Israel. Just want to show you the understanding. The sower's always been the pretty much chosen seed of the Most High, the 12 tribes of Israel. Read that right there.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 1 and verse 1. God, at sundry times,
At sundry times, read.
in diverse manners, spake in times past unto the fathers by the prophets.
By the prophets, read.
Had in these last days spoken unto us by his Son.
So not only the prophets, now when he speaks the latter days which we are in now, he's spoken by his Son, read.
Whom he had appointed heir of all things, by whom also he made the worlds.
So I just want to get you to understand it. What's being sold right now is the word of the Most High from the prophet, from the beginning. Now, go ahead and read verse 5.
The book of St. Mark, chapter 4, verse 5.
So now we're going to deal with the first type of Israelite. We're going to break it down. We're going to go all the way through it. That first type of Israelite, they hear the word, but they was distracted. We're going to break that down. Read on.
And some fell on stony ground,
Okay.
where it had not much earth. And immediately it sprang up, because it had no depth of earth. But when the sun was up, it was scorched. And because it had no root, it withered away.
So understand, this is the second Israelite. Write in your Bible. Examine this situation. I'm going to break it down when we get a little further. I'm going to read it through. Read.
And some fell among thorns. And the thorns grew up and choked it. And it yielded no fruit.
That's the third Israelite.
Right.
Some fell upon thorns. We're going to break that down in a minute. Just hold fast. Read on.
And other fell on good ground.
Hold up. Other fell on what?
On good ground.
Read on.
And did yield fruit that sprang up and increased.
So understand, this is that fourth Israelite. Right. Read.
And brought forth some 30, and some 60, and some 100. And he said unto them, he that hath ears to hear, let him hear.
So understand, he that have ears to hear, that everybody have ears, that means he that have understanding, let him hear. Right now, this is a time. When he was speaking this parable, you couldn't be puffed up. You couldn't be that guy always, I know I ain't gonna win, because he go, nah. You had to really pay attention right now. Humble your spirit. You know y'all had that one in the class, I just couldn't stand him. Okay. But, like, man, let him teach, man. All right, go ahead.
And when he was alone, they that were about him with the 12 asked of him the parable.
Okay.
And he said unto them, unto you it is given to know the mysteries of the kingdom of God.
Well, I just was speaking on, read.
But unto them that are without, all these things are done in parables.
Understand, that goes into, that's pretty much a double fold. Goes into the understanding to the other nation as well as our nation. The one that's pretty much refuse to keep the commandments. Because when you read that, I think there's Wisdom of Solomon 1 and 4. Wisdom won't deal in a body that's subject to sin. Right. Read on.
That seeing they may see and not perceive.
Okay.
And hearing they may hear and not understand.
So Christ is speaking right now. He said, even though I'm giving you the illustration, I'm giving you the breakdown, you still not going to be able to understand. Read on.
Lest at any time they should be converted.
Hold up. We say, lest at any time they should be what?
Converted.
Read.
And their sins should be forgiven them. And he said unto them, know ye not this parable? And how then will he know all parables?
So notice, I want you to go back with verse 12. What he say? Pretty much, lest at any time they should be converted. This is what Israel realized. You can't bring that old man into the kingdom. You can't bring Quayla into the kingdom. You have to be converted. Then say after they converted, their sins shall be what?
Forgiven them.
So read on.
And he said unto them, know ye not this parable? Mm-hmm. And how then would ye know all parables? Mm-hmm. The sower soweth the word.
So he's addressing the sower the word. Read.
And these are they by the wayside, where the word is sown.
Where the word is sown. Read.
But when they have heard, Satan.
Who?
Satan.
So understand, the ones that heard his word is going to go pretty much, when you go back up to verse, that'll be verse 3 and 4, where they talk about pretty much the first Israelite. They heard the word, they know they Israelites. But what happened?
Satan coming immediately, and taking away the word that was sown in their hearts.
This is what you have to realize. We're going to precept this, understand now. Give me 1 Corinthians 10 and 13. When you think about what's going on, there's a lot of people we talk to. They heard, they okay, all right, okay. That's right. And in the process of trying to get understanding, and man, I know my brothers, we've seen it a lot. I'm talking about they be in camp and I'm pointing at the sign, and you see the shock on their face, and then Big Booty Tammy come up there. Slick Rick Willie come up there with money and his car basic, and they just get so distracted.
That's right.
That's right.
I'm going to show you something. This is what's going on. Read that right quick now.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 10 verse 13. There had no temptation taken you, but such is common to man.
This is what's going on. This goes into that first Israelite. It's no temptation. It's nothing new up under the sun. The same thing. Look, the same gold chains that they have now, they had back in the day. That's right. I'm pretty sure King Solomon had a bit. So these things was a distraction back then. Read that from the top again now.
There had no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man.
Okay.
But God is faithful.
But God is what?
God is faithful.
Read on.
Who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able. But will with the temptation also make a way to escape.
Will also make a way to escape. Everybody always talk about temptation, but they never read the whole precept. But he also will make a way for you to escape. Read on.
Right. That ye may be able to bear it.
So this is what's going on. That ye may be able to bear it. This is what's going on here. And we continue to build and try to walk in the spirit. We have to realize that's one type of Israelite. They hear it, but the least distraction take them away from it. Give me Revelation 3 and 11 right quick. It ain't for us to, only thing we can do is keep playing that seed. Keep letting our light shine. But this is what you have to realize. Read that up.
The book of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 11. Behold, I come quickly.
Hold up. So he, in the process of dealing with this, and a person told me this before, he said, man, the show got to me, man. We was trying to get the brother, and then, such and such came and just did all that chaos and all this. But this is what we have to realize. And I say this to the sister too. If we continue to let our light shine, things going to happen. We just got to do our job. It might not be their time. Lord willing, come back around. But at the end of the day, we still got to sow the seed. Sowing the seed and letting that light shine. Being that example. But read that from the top again.
Behold, I come quickly.
Okay.
Hold that fast which thou hast.
Now check this out. This is Christ speaking. He said, hold that fast that they have. But check this out. Read.
That no man take thy crown.
Ooh, read that again.
That no man take thy crown.
See, this is what you have to realize. Some of these distractions, man. Some of these people, one thing about this walk, we don't know who the 1/3 or the 2/3. Some of them might be the 2/3. We don't know. So in the process of this, I tell people, if you get stronger spiritually, stop being mad at the wicked. Because guess what? The wicked just doing their job.
That's right.
Right.
Big Booty Tammy came up there, Dolphin William, whoever came up there, they just doing their job. Guess what? You might have to teach a little stronger.
That's right.
It's like the wicked is going to increase. So guess what? The righteous, we got to gather all on us. We got to do what we got to do. Because they just doing what they've been called to do. Now, that last part, he said what? Read that last part again.
That no man take thy crown.
That's what happened. That's that first part, that's that first Israelite. They heard it, felt good to them, but distraction came. Let's go on. Now, what verse we got now? Let's go to verse, where we at? Verse 16? Go ahead, huh? Okay, no problem.
The book of St. Mark, chapter 4, verse 16. And these are they, likewise, which are sown on stony ground.
Now, dealing with stony ground now, we're dealing with, going back up to verse 5.
Right.
Christ is giving an understanding about this stony ground. Read on.
Who, when they have heard the word, immediately received it with gladness.
So this is what we have. Some of our people, Shalom, and Israelite, oh man, tribe of Judah, Benjamin, Levi, they be so excited. White man is the devil.
That's right.
Whoa, that felt good saying that. Whoa, I can say it. And they'll ask, that's in the Bible, I can say that. Oh, that felt good. I'm just going to just start talking bad to white people and everything. I'm a real Jew. And they be so excited. But they on stony ground. We're going to find out. Read on.
And have no root in themselves.
They have no root. What that root exemplify? So somebody tell me. It's even though they're excited, there's no root in them.
I don't solid foundation.
There you go. The thing is, you happy, but you're not putting no work in. You haven't studied. You have no foundation. So you're on stony ground. You that seed that had, like my officer tell me, he told me one day I was pushing the seed too deep in there. But stony ground, that's that you burn in the ground. Hard wind come by, you gone. That goes into that understanding. Not putting that foundation in. You so excited, but you're not doing the work. You pretty much like a regurgitated dump. You're going to pick the precept that you like. What's that about going into captivity? I need that one. White man can't go to heaven. I need that one. You just got the one that you can cut somebody with.
That's right.
But you have no foundation. Because guess what? I'm going to show you how the adversary works. When you get attacked, I'm telling you how. And when the Bible say put on the whole armor, right? You get in your Bible and you study. I'm going to study. I'm going to make sure I study on marriage. I'm going to study on, not being a whoremonger. I'm going to study on all these. And guess what the adversary do? He going to hit you. He going to hit you with gambling. You going to have a gambling issue. You going to look. You're not a whoremonger. You good in your marriage. But guess what? You love money. Money going to be your downfall. Because guess what? You didn't put on the whole armor. You studied what you thought you needed to know. And he going to hit you where you ain't. See, the thing about the adversary, he don't hit your strength. He going to hit your weakness.
That's right.
This is what you have to realize. So, being on stony ground, you don't have a solid foundation. Read on. Finish what we had. Read verse.
And have no root in themselves.
Have no root, no foundation in themselves.
And so endure, but for a time.
And they only endure for a time. When you think about what's going on here, they're not studying. They're not applying nothing. They just, what to say, it's like a fast and it's a hype. They just running with it. Shalom! Hey, can I get a going like yours?
Bring it out.
I need one of those. Hey, how much you pay for this? Everything is about fashion. It's a fad. No foundation, though.
Right.
Read on.
Afterward, when affliction.
Hold up. It say afterwards. See, now, thing about it, everything good ain't gone. When it say last now what? Cry later. So now it say, this is that what we just talking about the second Israelite. Afterwards, when they don't have no foundation, haven't studied, haven't put on the whole armor, this read again.
When affliction or persecution arises for the word's sake.
For the what sake?
The word's sake. Immediately they are offended.
Immediately they fall out this truth. man, I ain't know, I can't celebrate Christmas, man. I kind of used to throw them toys on Christmas. And God, that's how I make my money. So, but we got to do this every Saturday. God, I ain't know all that. Hold up. They say remember. I just thought I had to remember this every day. I got to do all these. Man, I don't know barbecue business. I make money when I mean, this is what goes on. You all excited, but now what they say is levels to this. And now it's guidelines to this. So now what's going on, when you think about it, I'm going to show you something. Give me Romans chapter 12 and verse 1. You're very happy until you find out there's consequences to this. It's guidelines. Everybody want to be a fan of the truth, but they don't want to be fully in the truth.
That's right.
That's right.
You know, that hits y'all. Bashim and y'all shy and they do all that. Barack Obama. Like, God, dog, dude might be serious in the truth. Then you see him at the store, no fringes.
Bring it out.
You see him all doing everything with like, man, I met the dude last week. He was going in. Barack Obama, your house shy. Well, we'll show you some. Read this right quick.
The book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God,
by the mercy of God, read,
that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice.
I'm going to show you something about this truth. When you come into this understanding, you have to study. And you're not studying for me. I ain't gonna lie, some people studying for me, and I'm going to get that in the next one. But you got to study for the... read on. I'm gonna
Holy, acceptable unto God.
So you doing this for the Most High God. Read on.
Which is your reasonable service.
Which is your what?
Reasonable service.
Read on.
And be not conformed to this world.
Hold on. What does the Bible say?
And be not conformed to this world.
Read.
But be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God.
When you think about this, Israel, you have to operate in the spirit at all times. You cannot operate like the other nations. You can't operate how you used to operate.
That's right.
You have to, I'm telling you, I see a lot of shoulders. You have to know that person that you used to be. You have to be that person that, okay. 3 years ago, it would have been a problem. But you got to conform your spirit, control your spirit, and understand. And I'm going to show you, when you go back up to verse 1, it say, read that part right quick, where it say, that ye present your bodies. I'm going to read that right quick.
That ye present your bodies a living sacrifice.
A what?
A living sacrifice.
When you think about it, and I always go back to this old saying that I used to like there. See, the thing is, when you're in this walk, Israel, you got to make your whole lifestyle a living sacrifice. When you think about it, I'm going to go, they use the pig, I ain't going to use the pig. But an old farmer told me this. He said, the thing is, he said, when the feast come, celebration come, you got two animals on the farm. You got a cow and you got the chicken. He said, and the cow and the chicken talk to each other, but the cow don't say too much. And the chicken just keep talking about the day and the feast and so forth. And the chicken just so excited. And he said, but the cow focused. The cow just chewing on the grass. The cow just enjoying the grains of the field. Chilling, just enjoying life and just not saying too much, just embracing it for what it's worth, right? And he said, the chicken keep talking. And I said, and he kept talking about the chicken doing all types of things. So I'm just like, man, what's up with this chicken? He said, I'm going to tell you what's going on with the chicken. See, in this feast, the chicken is giving a contribution. The chicken is going to lay the eggs. But the cow the main meal. See, the cow understands it's a sacrifice. You talking about this feast, but the cow focus is better than the chicken, because the chicken just going to lay the eggs. They got these laid eggs, and these ain't too far to kill it. And when he said that, I was young, but now it makes sense. See, when you make your life a living sacrifice, your focus got to be on a higher level. So when you think about what's going on with Israel right now, us as awakening the truth, we didn't care. We understand the mission. We understand we might die for this truth.
That's right.
But when you're around people that only want to give a contribution, they never gel well with the one that's what? Making their life a living sacrifice. Some of y'all lay down jobs because of the moral value of the job, of the concept of not keeping the commandment. So this is what I want y'all to realize. Going into that mindset, not studying, not guiding yourself through the scripture, you're not making your life a living sacrifice. Give me Psalms 48 right quick. King David had the heart of the Most High. Let's see why King David had that heart of the Most High. What was King David doing different? I'm going to show you how King David was, how his spirit was, what he understood.
The book of Psalms, chapter 40, verse 8. I delight to do thy will.
King David understood. He said, in the process of me living, I delight to do thy will. Read.
Oh my God.
Uh-huh.
Yea, thy law.
Thy what?
Thy law
Read.
is within my heart.
Read on.
I have preached righteousness.
He did what?
Preach
So
righteousness.
not only did he meditate on the words of the Most High God, he put it to action. He sowed seeds. He preached righteousness. Read.
In the great congregation.
In the what?
In the great congregation.
Now by itself.
In the great congregation.
I'm about to hear something now. Some of y'all on the Israelites, we all around Israelites. They went over somebody head. They'll catch you tomorrow. Some of y'all only walking this walk when y'all around your people.
Bring it out.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
King David said, man, look here, I'm in this thing. He said, I did around people over there. He said he did what?
I have preached righteousness in the great congregation. Lo, I have not refrained my lips. O Lord, thou knowest.
King David said he did not refrain his lips. He did not trim his ways. Regardless of the matter, he let it be known. So this what's going on. Let's move forward and let's I'm gonna show you something. Dealing with studying. Dealing with having that foundation. Give me Psalms 1 and 1 right quick. Because we talking about foundation. I brought a good point out. Dealing with the foundation. How can you come to the truth? Knowing that we lost a lot of history and understanding the Bible, and now you find out you're an Israelite, and you read the Bible by the same you did in Christianity. That's not good. Read this right quick.
The book of Psalms, chapter 1, verse 1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly,
Okay.
nor standeth in the way of sinners,
Okay.
nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord.
Once again, his delight is in the law of the Lord. Read.
And in his law doeth he meditate day.
Hold up. In his law do he what?
Meditate
Read.
day and night.
That's
It's
right.
going into that stony ground.
Teach.
This is what we have to understand.
That's right.
We must be in this Bible, Israel.
That's right.
Your mind been programmed with television. You've been programmed with everything that's a bumper that goes against the will of the Father.
That's right.
I'm gonna tell you, and I ain't gonna lie. You guys, my wife, I buy Bibles like I used to buy Jordans. Say when I order a Bible, it come in. She be like, "What's wrong with you?"
Right.
Look at the trim on that. Hey, because it's a delight to me now. I have transformed my mind to embrace righteousness and joy. I tell you, check my closet. I got a bunch of nice Bibles. But read on.
And he should be like a tree.
Hold up, for the process of meditating day and night. You said what?
And he should be like a tree.
Okay.
Planted by the rivers of water.
That's that constant study. That's that abiding in the will of the Father. That's that solid foundation. You know, anything you're a country boy, you know about the grass and the trees that's by the river. That's the best grass deal. Read on.
That bringeth forth fruit in his season.
Hold up, and do what?
Bringeth forth fruit in his season.
Come on now.
His leaf also shall not wither. And whatsoever he doeth shall prosper.
Whatever he do, they do, you do, shall prosper.
That's right.
You got to get rooted, Israel. You got to study your Bible. I tell you, Christianity, my Bible was brand new for like 12 years. Still smell new. Oh, no, I've been not writing that Bible. No, I didn't. Let's go now. Let's go to Mark chapter 4. Go back to where it was at. Chapter 4, verse 18. We almost coming to an end, Israel. 4 and 18.
The book of St. Mark, chapter 4 and verse 18. And these are they which are sown among thorns.
Hold up now. Read on.
Such as hear the word, and the cares of this world, and the deceitfulness of riches,
Okay.
and the lust of other things entering in.
So stop right there. We're going to deal with this. Now we're dealing with that third Israelite. The one that's sown pretty much among thorns. If you know anything about thorns is an uncomfortable situation. A thorn, when you think about a rose is a beautiful thing. You see a rose, you want to grab it. But the distraction that would get you every time if you're not thinking, when you grab that road still, what happened? God, dog. The thorn is an element of being uncomfortable, being distracted, being taken away from. So it say these here. So the third Israelite, you study. But guess what? You studying in a process of it's not leading to nothing. Because guess what? You have a distraction in this world. You have something that's holding you back. You studying though, but you keep having setbacks. You see people in the truth like this. They, man, that brother calling the precepts, and then you see them getting to mischief. You're like, man, how the dude gave me counsel, but then he lost his job and his family. But he saved my job and my family with the precept. Because guess what? These are the ones that know the Bible, but they don't apply the Bible in their life.
Right.
That's right.
I think in the world you heard people say, man, you can save everybody but yourself. Yourself is your worst enemy. And I ain't gonna lie, my wife tell me that sometimes. Sometimes I give better counsel to somebody else. I have to re-examine what I just said. I'm like, hey, I need to do that too. I done told them, let me write down what I just said, yo. That's how it be. So that being said, I'm gonna show you something right quick. Give me Sirach chapter 4 and 20 right quick. When you're dealing with soul among thorns, that's dealing with all type of distraction of fame, wealth, your job, money. They study, but they're not applying it to their life. Read that right quick.
The book of Sirach, chapter 4, verse 20. Observe the opportunity.
Okay.
And beware of evil.
Notice it say, observe the opportunity. And beware of evil. Read.
And be not ashamed when it concerneth thy soul.
This is what that third is like, not understanding. You learn these precepts, but they don't do you no good. Because you still the same person that you were. Somebody, hey man, Matthew, so you got a precept for everything. But it's not prospering you nothing. Because guess what? Your mind is still caught up in this world. You're still distracted by the things of this world. That's right. I'm going to show you something. Give me 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 3. You very knowledgeable, but some still holding you back. And if you this third Israelite, you can make adjustments. You just got to identify it. Know your status with the Most High. That's what it's about. That's why I pray through this class. Somebody goes examine that, man. I'm pretty good with these scriptures, but I keep dropping the ball. So read that right quick.
The book of 2 Timothy, chapter 2, verse 3. Thou therefore endure hardness.
Do what?
Endure hardness.
Read on.
As a good soldier of Jesus Christ.
This is what we have to do. Now what you've been teaching, now what you've been studying, you have to apply it to your life.
That's right.
You have to go ahead and stand on this thing. What we always tell the brothers, you got to be 10 toes down now. Guess what? It was easy to talk to you about the passion or the death for your family. I gave you multiple precepts. Now death to hit my family. I'm talking about going to shoot people and say, man, I'm telling you everything that you shouldn't have done, I'm going to do. See, it's easier. Like I say, it's hard. It's like what I say, you got to swallow your own medicine. Because the same person that you told a year ago, he looking at you now. What they say. You learn more about what a person do than what they say. That dude tell me about my attitude, and the dude I just kicked a hole in the wall. These are things that we have to examine. But read on.
No man that warreth entangled himself.
Hold up. So no man that war, because right now we in spiritual warfare. I know we read about the Maccabees and how they were killing the enemy. The enemy you have to kill right now is your bad spirit.
That's right.
Within you. Get your members in order. The war right now is obedience. That's the war. Read on.
With the affairs of this life.
So it say no man, no individual walking in the spirit wrestle with the what?
With the affairs of this life.
Okay.
That he may please him who had chosen him to be a soldier.
To be a what?
To be a soldier.
Read on.
And if a man also strive for mastery.
And if you're going to strive for the kingdom, read.
Yet is he not crowned except he strive lawfully.
What?
Except he strive lawfully.
We must strive lawfully.
That's right.
That third is like he know a lot of laws, but he ain't keep them. He ain't gonna abide by them. Or he only use them when he need to use them. I'm gonna abide by when I'm with my brothers and with my sister, but when I'm out of town in Kansas, anything goes. This is what we have to realize. Let's go back now. Give me I'm gonna show you another thing. Now go back over here. Give me. I want you to read out verse 18 again. No, 19. 18? 19.
The book of St. Mark, chapter 4, verse 19. And the cares of this world, and the deceitfulness of riches, and the lust of other things enter in.
Understand that lust of other things, because it talks about riches. That lust of other things goes into power. We're going to talk about that. Read.
Choke the word.
And do what?
Choke the word.
Read.
And it becoming unfruitful.
And it becoming unfruitful. I want you to underline unfruitful. We're going to deal with that. It says choke the word. By having the spirit, it chokes the word. Let's deal with power right quick. Give me Sirach chapter 16, and we'll start at verse 1. Because I'm going to tell you right now, some people ain't chasing money. I'm going to be honest with you. Some people not chasing money. I hope they're not. The money in Christianity. The money ain't over here. But they pass the post out. The money over there. Best building in the hood is the church. Everybody else house land. I'm going to show you something. Dealing with some people, they chase power. And I'm going to tell you what happened. Sometimes people didn't accomplish what they wanted to accomplish in this life. So what they do, they get into the truth. And you'll think, I ain't going to lie, you look at some brother like, boy, that brother there. Whoo, that brother cold to preach about. Bam, 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 bam. And then you start examining the brother over a period of time. Like, this dude just really smart. But he ain't in the spirit, I know my brother, I always say, I ain't in the spirit, See, the thing about it is something, because you got to think about it. Especially the younger generation. They mind a little sharper than us. Some of these children can work on a computer laptop better than us adults. Because, like you said, the knowledge has increased. But at the same time, the spirit is not in a lot of these.
That's right.
And over a period of time, you'll find out. But hey, when they first hit the fan, though, you're like, man, brother, boom, boom, boom with the precept. But then you look at, do he really love his people? Some people won't teach unless the camera on. Once the camera go out, you got 100 people here. We ain't lying no more. This is what we dealing with in Israel. So what they do, they use the downfalls in society. They come into this truth, and they seeking their power and their glory. Come on, I'm going to show you something. Read this right quick.
The book of Sirach, chapter 16 and verse 1. Desire not a multitude of unprofitable children.
Come on now.
Neither delight in ungodly sons.
Neither delight in ungodly sons. Read.
Though they multiply.
Though they what?
Multiply.
Read.
Rejoice not in them.
Do what?
Rejoice not in them.
Because I'm going to tell you, some people in this thing, you not what they count, they ain't dealing with you. Yep. And you not up under they teaching, they ain't even going to say shalom to you.
That's right.
That's right.
Read on.
Except the fear of the Lord be with them.
Except the fear of the Lord be with them. Read.
Trust not thou in their life, neither respect their multitude.
Don't look at all what they got going. Because at due time, you got to examine the thing. What if they try the spirit by the spirit?
That's right.
Some people come in this truth, man, and they try to treat this truth like Nino Brown.
Yeah.
They try to be the it in the city, I'm going to say.
Yeah.
This is what they doing.
That's right.
And like I said, you'll never catch it first off. But that's why I say, it's an endurance of time, you'll see.
That's right.
Read on.
For one that is just is better than 1,000.
Hold on, read that part again.
For one that is just is better than 1,000.
It said, for one that is just, you don't got to be deep. You don't got to have 1,000 brothers, 1,000 sisters. It said, if for one that is just, read.
And better it is to die without children,
okay,
than to have them that are ungodly.
To have them that are ungodly. Mm-hmm. This is what we have to realize, Israel. That third person, he's studying, but you got to understand, he might be studying. His study might be in vain. So that being said, let's get some more on it. Let's go ahead and go back to what was that. Give me Mark chapter 4, and we're going to go ahead and give me verse 20 now. We dealing with that fourth Israelite. And this is what Paul talked about. You got to die daily. What you was in the streets, just like I said, if you really seeking and trying to convert your soul, what you used to be, you're not trying to be there no more. This is what you have to realize. You have to humble your spirit and understand. So read this, huh?
The book of St. Mark, chapter 4, verse 20.
Hold up, before we go there, because I wanted to cover this. We talked about choke the word. Go back up to verse 19. Read 19.
Verse 19. And the cares of this world, and the deceitfulness of riches, and the lust of other things entering in choke the word, and it becoming unfruitful.
So to become unfruitful, you got to know what is the fruit of the Spirit. Give me Galatians chapter 5 and verse 22. I try to leave no stone unturned. See, you heard that choke the fruit of the Spirit. What is choking? I got to show you. What is actually choking out? If you operate in the Spirit, what is it choking out? Let's get that understanding. Read that.
The book of Galatians chapter 5 verse 22.
Now we're going to cover the fruit of the Spirit. What is being choked out? Read.
But the fruit of the Spirit is love.
So it's choking out love. But we know love is what? Keeping the commandments. Read.
Joy.
What?
Joy.
We know joy come from abiding in the will of God. Read.
Peace.
Okay.
Long suffering.
Hold up. So long suffering, that goes into that understanding of dealing with your brothers and sisters. That goes into that understanding of putting up with that bury each other burdens. Right. So when you going into the mindset of vainglory, being that third Israelite, just like you studying and you're not going to walk in the Spirit and abide in the fruit of what they say, the fruit of the Spirit, all this stuff is vanity.
That's right.
That's right.
You what they say, you good for nothing.
That's right.
You know all the precepts that can help me, but your mind so corrupt on power and the things of this world, you good for nothing. Because a person that's pretty much what they call deceitful, they only gonna help you unless you benefit them. If I can't win off of it, I ain't gonna help you.
That's right.
Read on.
Gentleness.
Hold on, what?
Gentleness.
This was being choked out. Read.
Goodness. Faith. Meekness.
What?
Meekness.
Read.
Temperance.
Temperance, having patience, knowing that, hey, I was a sinner too. I was a whoremonger too. So when I deal with my people, I gotta be mindful that, hey, they destroyed like I was. Read on.
Against such there is no law.
Against such there is no law. Read on.
And they that are.
That's all I'm on. So that's dealing with the fruit. That's what's being choked out. When you that third Israelite, you study, you don't have the fruit of the Spirit. How can you edify? How can you teach? How can you guide? Now let's go into that fourth Israelite.
The book of St. Mark chapter 4 verse 20. And these are they which are sown on good ground.
Are sown on good ground, read.
Such as hear the word and receive it.
And do what?
And receive it.
So they hear the word and they receive the word. Receiving the word, now you're going into study. You heard something, guess what? You went home and did research on it. Guess what? You came back and built with the brotherhood. You came back and built with the sisterhood. You put that thing into action. Read on.
And bring forth fruit.
Oh, whoa, and did what?
And bring forth
So
fruit.
in the process of doing this, you bring forth fruit. Okay.
Some 30-fold, some 60, and some 100. And he said unto them, it is a candle brought to be put under a bushel and under a bed, and not to be set on a candlestick.
I'm going to show you something. Deal with verse 20. I'm going to show you that good foundation. Give me that in 1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 11. This is what you have to be coming to a close. But this is what you have to realize. That good, what it say, that good ground. What is that good ground? Read that right now.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 3 verse 11. For other foundation can no man lay than that is laid, which is Jesus Christ.
Now that foundation that Christ laid, let's get some understanding of this. Give me 1 John chapter 3 and verse 5 right quick. So there's no foundation that can be laid better than what Christ laid out for us. Because we know he was the perfect example for us. Let's get a little bit on that. Go ahead.
The book of 1 John chapter 3 verse 5. And you know that he was manifested to take away our sins. And in him it is no sin.
So in him is what? Read that again.
And we know, and ye know that he was manifested to take away our sins. And in him is no sin.
So knowing this, read on.
Whosoever abided in him sinned not.
So whosoever abided in him do what?
Sinned not.
This that fourth Israelite. This that fourth Israelite understanding. If we abide in the scripture, because we know the word became flesh.
That's right.
And we abide in him, read on.
Whosoever sinned had not seen him, neither known him.
This is what we have to realize. That being said, give me Revelation 1 and 3 right quick. Coming to a close, Israel. This is that fourth Israelite. Read that right quick. Huh?
The book of Revelation chapter 1 verse 3. Blessed is he that readeth.
That what?
That readeth.
No matter who's teaching, you have to realize you have to what? Study for yourself.
That's right.
For the Most High Yah. Read on. So it say, blessed him that readeth, read.
And they that hear the words of this prophecy.
Okay.
And keep those things.
And notice it say not only read, but do what?
And keep those things.
Read.
Which are written therein. For the time is at hand.
For the time is at hand. Give me 1 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 13. So this is what was going on. When you deal with the four types of Israelite, you have to realize where you stand. If it's not that fourth Israelite, it's time to make them adjustments. It's time to get things in order. Go ahead.
The book of 1 Timothy chapter 4 verse 13. Till I come.
Till what?
Till I come.
This is Paul writing to Timothy. He's addressing. Let's see what he was telling them. Read.
Give attendance.
Do what?
Give attendance.
This is what we should be doing. Read.
To reading.
To what?
To reading.
It's over and over in the Bible. They go into studying. Get that foundation. Read.
To exhortation.
Okay.
To doctrine.
To what?
To doctrine.
Read on.
Neglect not the gift that is in thee,
Uh-huh.
which was given thee by prophecy.
Okay.
With the laying on of the hands, with the laying on of the hands of the presbytery. Mediate upon these things.
Read that again.
Meditate upon these things.
This is what we should be doing. Meditating upon these things. Read.
Give thyself wholly to them,
Uh-huh.
that thy profiting,
That thou what?
profiting
Read on.
may appear to all.
This is what's going on. Read.
Take heed unto thyself.
Do what?
Take heed unto thyself.
Are you doing this, Israel? Where do you stand with the Most High Yah, man? Read that again.
Take heed unto thyself.
Read on.
And unto the doctrine. Continue in them.
Do what?
Continue in them.
Read.
For in doing this, thou shalt both save thyself
You shall save thyself, read.
and them that hear thee.
And you gonna be a light to the nation. And on that Israel, we're gonna say, Shalom.
Children struggle together.
Hold on, I want to get to Matthew 22 and verse
Tosh money.
Matthew 22, verse 29.
Uh-huh.
Ye do err,
Understand?
not knowing the scripture,
Knowing the scripture,
nor the power of God.
knowing the power of God. Read. He's coming back like a thief in the night, man. Your beer, your barbecues, and your blood is not going to save you.